welcome to the Tribulation, day 93. I'm still here, the world's still here, and it continues to spiral downward into chaos. Today, August, what the hell is the date? Yeah, the 14th, August 14th, 2011, here in San Jose. The weather's kind of reverted back to this pattern that's been here for months and months and months, where it's a lot of really cool air. So in the morning it's actually chilly and you get these just really cosmic looking clouds. And I've been taking pictures of these clouds because, in my opinion, they look kind of got like an eyebrow or something in my way. But anyway, the clouds look kind of weird, and they actually look beautiful and cool. About 2 days ago, like the clouds, I was thinking, man, was it the clouds that were in these long, like, straight lines? But there was like lines all over the sky. And then later in the afternoon, I was out there and I personally witnessed like 4 high altitude jets all making lines in the sky. And I took a couple of photos, so I'm going to get those up on the blog under my Tribulation. I'll put a little story there, but you could check out the pictures of the lines. But you know what, I'm out there every day walking my dog, and they're not up there putting lines in the sky every day, but that day there was just like a mess load of lines. And the one thing I was thinking is, I'm looking at those lines from down here on Earth, but what if whatever those lines meant or were up there doing, what if it was like a reverse mirror image? Because actually who the lines were being made for is somebody on the other side, like in low orbit space, reading whatever the heck it is those lines say. So, like I said, I'll get a couple of those pictures up. For me personally right now, it feels like it's kind of like a lull in the storm, the eye of the storm, the calm before the storm. And, I think with the Tribulation, that's kind of how it is. Despite all the craziness, there are days when you're walking around and you're just thinking, man, life's not so bad. And, maybe there's not a tribulation, and everybody wants things to get better, But here's the bad news, heading towards 2012, even a little bit beyond there, I still see the Tribulation continuing. I'm a believer in manifestation, and that's both positive and negative manifestation. So, kind of like if you think evil thoughts, probably some kind of evil is going to manifest itself. And likewise, I believe the more powerful thought is the positive thought, that if you think positive, it will manifest itself positively. So, to me, that's part of that tribulation storm I've been talking about, the perfect storm, where you got all these elements coming together, war, disasters, famine, whatever, all this crap that's just kind of negative. But on top of it all is, just human beings and how we're thinking and acting. And that ultimately can bring us all together in unity, awakening as one, or it can create, the divide and conflict and lead us ultimately to our doom, which is a tribulation. And, that's kind of the bad news, because that's what's kind of covering the world too. And part of this perfect storm is, that we as humans on the planet are carrying, a lot of crap in our heads, and that's where, the manifestation. If we're not thinking positively, then, positive things will bring positive manifestation, but if we're all thinking negative crap, negativity is bound to happen. So, a couple of things. One, on the negative side, the undercurrent of the negativity in everybody's heads, desperation, discontent. Like if you think life isn't good or life sucks, that's all negativity. And, there's other things that have been around for thousands of years that are kind of part of that negative undercurrent of thinking across all spectrums of humanity. But racism is always there, and I would say religious fanaticism, because we're kind of at a point where most religions kind of point to the 2012, a lot of people believe, for whatever reasons, end of the world, Jesus coming, even in the Islamic world, the the 13th Imam, but there's a religious undercurrent that to me can really be negative in a lot of aspects, because it's an us, they, we're saved, you're not, screw you type thing. But that's all in that undercurrent. And it's across the globe. The discontent and all that stuff is everywhere. And here in the United States, the reason why it's going to get worse is because we're headed into an election year, and already they're saying it's going to be one of the dirtiest, nastiest, elections ever, and I believe it. And, what you're going to see is everybody from our president to all the candidates on the Republican side, they're all going to be, talking fear and doom and gloom, fear-mongering and doom and gloom, because it's like the end is here. And then what's going to come right along with all that fear and doom and gloom will be blame. Obama will blame anybody but himself, the Tea Party, the Republicans, other countries, disasters, whatever. And likewise, the Republican candidates are going to blame, guess who? Obama, for everything, because Obama set the precedent when he just generically blamed poor old George Bush for everything that went wrong in the world, for the 8 years prior to his presidency. Well, guess what? Now that same measuring bar is being applied to you, Mr. President Obama, so you're to blame for everything. That's kind of how it works. But that's all negativity, doom, gloom, fear-mongering, blaming. There's nothing positive in that whatsoever. And of course, whether it's the president or the Republicans, they'll try and add in some kind of a positive spin, like, oh, vote for me. But I just, to me, what's happening is two things. One, it's dividing us all, because we as a society, it's the Democrats versus the Republicans, us, they. All the negativity gets us all on a mass scale in our society, kind of thinking negative towards one another, looking at the other person suspect, going, are you one of them? You voting for him? What? And everybody's got the doom and gloom in their mind. And you know what? Why wouldn't the world, why wouldn't the United States continue on a path of doom and gloom, since that's all we're talking about, And I think whatever's really going on, they want that, whether it's the Illuminati, ruled by secrecy, aliens, even God, kind of figures into how that scenario goes, which is the world is fixated on materialism and the things that they're losing, and they're divided, and us into they, and warring on each other, and yet there's somebody outside of that whole thing that is looking at it like, this is advantageous for me, this is what I want, or this brings about, the change that I want. So that's where we all got to wake up and, kind of shake off the brainwashing and try and step out from the tree and see the forest, man, of what's really going on. Break our mental bondage to whether it's religion or materialistic things, or allegiance or non-allegiance to a government, But we got to figure it out. And I believe in the long run, people are good. A few bad apples rise up. One thing we learn is you got to snuff those people out, because, whether it's bad management at work, or a horrible leader, be it president or dictator or whoever, you know what? The last thing you need is some clown that doesn't know what they're doing, that's making everything negative, and that's the problem with building pyramids of power, Religion does that, that's why a theocracy, no, don't want it, because a theocracy is all about putting some fool, some, Khomeini imam type dude at the top between us and supposedly God, telling everybody how it is. And I'm telling you, that's a formula for doom. If anything, one of the guiding principles of Jesus is he flattened that pyramid. It isn't even a pyramid, it's a line, like we're all there on the line, we're all in the boat together. Love one another. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. If we think positive things, go help somebody, we can turn it all around. And not let the next year or so just become the negative, manifestation of what somebody else wants to happen. Keep the faith. Peace.